Hi everybody, I'm John Bard, Managing Editor of Children's Book Insider, the newsletter for children's writers, and Fightin' Bookworm-in-Chief at the CBI Clubhouse, the new community just for children's book writers. Come on over to the Clubhouse, check out all our articles, videos, audios, ebooks, message boards, and of course get the latest issue of Children's Book Insider, the newsletter for children's writers. It's all at cbiclubhouse.com, the home of the Fightin' Bookworms. Today, what should I write about? You're driven to write a children's book, but you're not sure exactly what it is you want to write about. Okay, no problem. Let's figure it out. But first, it's best to begin with a few things you probably shouldn't write about. Subjects that have been beaten to death. If you want to write another alphabet book, or a book in which our hero learns that it's okay to be different, or a story about a talking squirrel and his magical forest friends, you had better have a really fresh take on things, or else you're wasting your and the editor's time. The best way to determine over-covered topics? Ask your local children's librarians about the kind of stories she hopes never to see again. You'll get an earful and a roadmap of where not to go. 2. Subjects that have been covered better than you can possibly manage. As far as I'm concerned, no one should ever attempt to record a cover version of an Otis Redding song. Really, what's the point? Is it even remotely possible to do that song better than Otis did? But yet, some have tried. And, well, it hasn't worked out that well. If you're inspired by a truly great writer, that's wonderful. Generations of writers have been sparked by the work of Dr. Seuss or Judy Blume or Gary Paulson. But no one will ever succeed simply by copying what those extraordinary talents have done. If you read Hatchet and decide that you're going to take a crack at your own story about a boy stranded in the wilderness after he has to land a plane on his own, you're missing the point. If you read Hatchet and decide that you're going to write an entirely fresh and original adventure story for boys, you're on the right track. Finally, don't write about subjects you don't care about. So you read that horror for teens is hot right now, and you decide that your ticket into the publishing world will be a YA novel filled with frights and chills. That's cool if you understand and appreciate the genre. But if you aren't inclined to read horror books on your own time just for the fun of it, what makes you think you're at all capable of doing the genre justice in your own writing? Write what you know is an absolute truism, but I would amend it to write what you're passionate about. That's the real key. I have a simple and foolproof technique for determining your passion coming up soon. So with that in mind, here are my 2 tips for coming up with a story idea that will resonate with readers and give your talent the best opportunity to shine. 1. Write about something from your own life and make it meaningful to today's readers. A great way to start is to get outside your own head and into your young readers' heads. Before you start your manuscript, create 2 characters to represent your potential readership. 1 boy, 1 girl. Give each one a name. Imagine their age, their physical appearance, the way they speak and how they dress. Think about what they do with themselves in the hours not spent reading your book. Who are their friends? Who are their antagonists? What else do they read? In what kind of house or apartment do they live? And most importantly, what are they looking for when they pick up your book? To be entertained, enlightened, scared, tickled pink with laughter? Don't start writing your book until these 2 youngsters truly become real to you. Now, start writing your book for them. Forget the publisher, forget the editor, forget the, hopefully, hordes of other kids that will ultimately read your book. Write your book for these 2 kids. Now, examine your own life and find the things that have the most meaning to you. Did you overcome a great obstacle? Accomplish something you never thought possible? Experience a tragedy? Have a family member who got ill or was disabled? Develop an unusual hobby or interest? Make a list and see what speaks loudest to you. Now go back to your imaginary readers. Take yourself out of the event and place one of them into it. In one stroke, you've obtained the necessary distance to write this story. Set your story in the child's world, not yours. Let the child deal with it in his or her own way, not necessarily in the way you dealt with it. Let go of the story and allow your new protagonist to take over. You just might find that your story is a heck of a lot more fascinating, unpredictable, and meaningful than you've ever imagined. Discover your true passions and write about them. Okay, here it is. My foolproof method of determining the things that you truly and deeply care about. And it really couldn't be simpler. Just answer this question. When you're browsing magazine racks in a bookstore, to which section do you go first? Which section do you head to next? And which one after that? You've just listed your top 3 passions. Now me, I go to the music section first. Then I look at martial arts magazines, and then political magazines. How about you? There. You've just discovered the subjects you should be writing about. Unless, of course, the first 3 stops you make are to Hustler, High Times, and Soldier of Fortune, in which case I suggest that perhaps you might want to reconsider this whole children's writing thing. For those of you that are still raring to go, visit the CBI Clubhouse at cbiclubhouse.com for much more information about writing children's books. Until next time, this is John Bard, reminding you, keep writing.